First of all, congratulations on this movie. It's fantastic. It gave me anxiety watching it. How was it for you making this?
Oh, well, thank you so much. It was a lot. We had a lot thrown our way that we didn't plan for, just from filming in the desert and filming it practically as opposed to on a sound stage with green screen. So I think every single day was like Indiana Jones showing up to set for an adventure. It was an adventure, truthfully.
Talking to Scott Mann, he said that you guys decided to do your own stunts. Why make that decision, having shot this practically?
Because it's kind of fun. I mean, it was really, really fun. And how often are you in such a controlled, safe environment to um, try such thrilling things? It also was really special because, like, particularly with the ladder break and doing that stunt myself, we're able to see Becky, her face and her reaction as it's happening, which is for me, playing Becky felt like a really awesome thing to be able to give to the audience, is to stay with Becky in that scary moment as opposed to cutting away to a stunt double.
Having all this practical stuff done and the camera being so close to you guys, how much of this reaction is actual, fear and reaction naturally as opposed to like acting it out?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say any of my reactions were actual fear. Um, no, I don't think so. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I don't think so. I mean, there were a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments where, we're looking at each other up there, Ginny and I and our cameraman, and we're all like looking at each other like, this is interesting. This is pretty crazy what we're doing. But no, we rehearse so much of the stunt. So you really know what you're getting yourself into. But maybe a like split second of real fear is in there.
um, there's a lot of really dark, heavy themes for your character. How was it for you stepping into this role?
Uh yeah, it was I think I was ultimately very empathetic towards Becky and just felt so much compassion for her situation and so much sadness for her. Um, and it was definitely interesting playing a character that is so beaten down for so many days on end. And I did catch myself leaving set and feeling beaten down myself. So that was interesting, kind of walking a fine line of that fantasy of what you're acting versus what it does to you, like actually mentally. And I'm a pretty chipper person. So that was an interesting thing to experience. Not to mention you're so exhausted from doing stunts that there was just sort of exhaustion at the end of the day. But remembering that we were doing everything that we love, I feel like I was pinching myself every single day on set, getting
That
to
is awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, you work with a fantastic cast. Uh, how was it like being on set with them? What kind of dynamic did you guys build?
Yeah, I mean, Ginny and I are almost in every scene together. Um, and she is so hardworking and applies herself with no reserve, no reservation, which made my job a lot easier than it could have been. It could have been really hard had I had a different actress. But holy cow, did she just show up every single day and give 100%, which only boosted my morale to give 100% as well.
Uh, when you first were reading the script, that ending has such an amazing twist. How did you feel about having to go through this story arc?
Oh, so giddy, so curious. I think when reading a script and you encounter twists and turns and things that make you kind of go, hang on, this is interesting. I want to experience telling this story. I want to experience a character going through this. There's a mystery of how is the director going to direct this? How is it actually going to be captured on camera? And truthfully, it was kind of a rush whenever we got to film those scenes where there's a twist, because they're such important scenes that I really do feel that they read really well in the movie. I mean, I get chills and my stomach drops, and yeah. I mean, what about you? Did you get kind of startled by him?
Oh yeah, I had vertigo through some of that movie just sitting there. So yeah. For you, what was your favorite part of this movie?
Um, I really loved playing around with Becky's anger, even though she's so sad and she's so beaten down. And just quite frankly, exploring as many different ranges as I could possibly find of sadness, despair, all those emotions that are low emotions. I felt like a little bit of a detective and a nerd about, how else can I access my feelings and give life to Becky. That was definitely one of my favorite things.
Yeah, Scott Mann was the writer, the director, the producer. Having somebody so passionate, how does that help you improve on you as an actor?
I mean, when we first climbed up the tower, Scott climbed up there first, and
Wow.
he was oftentimes on set walking around with a climbing harness on, ready to get up in a moment's notice if, we needed it. And he made himself so accessible. I think he got a lot out of us because he gave a lot too. And I'm grateful I got to work with him, because he's really awesome. He thinks about the edit quite frequently, and considers how the finished product is going to come to play. So oftentimes he would, encourage us to make a choice that was different than our instinct, for the sake of maybe in the edit it being the better move. So it was really fun to work with a director who had us just exploring a wide range of options at times.
Awesome. And when you get to see this with an audience, what are you looking for? What kind of reaction do you hope you get?
Well, I got to watch it with an audience a couple days ago, and it was so soul filling to see people jump to the edge of their seats, cheering, screaming, exclaiming. I mean, it was entertaining in its own way, just watching the audience and listening to them. And it's quite infectious to watch a movie and have people so engaged, because this movie really demands you to sit at the edge of your seat and be engaged. And the group feeling, there's just nothing like it, to watch a movie with that group energy. So I hope that people get to the theaters, bring a big group, because this movie's meant to see. You've got to see it on the big screen, and you've got to see your friends' reactions.
Definitely. Well, thank you very much for your time. You did a fantastic job. Best of luck.
Oh, thank you so much.